So this is House Draper, episode 1, Nemesis by Micheal Ross. Fade in, super yesterday. Exterior housing estate, London, day. A car speeds down a deserted street pursued by a police car, its siren sounding. The car takes a sharp left at a junction. Interior car housing estate, day, London, day. Philip Howe, 18, is driving. His passenger, Richard Draper, 16, has his window wound down. Richard looks out of the window back towards the police car with a broad grin. Exterior housing estate, London, day. The teenager's car takes a sharp turn. A teenage girl steps off the curb. The car comes to a screeching halt. Richard leans out of the window. You stupid!
Taylor, where's your sister?
Draper, you moron.
Get Kim to call me.
She's too good for you.
They drive off. At the next junction, a second police car appears, causing the teenager's car to brake. Exterior housing estate, London, day. 2 policemen get out of their patrol car and walk towards the youngster's car. Richard jumps out of the car, shooting at the police car's tyres in quick, accurate succession. The policemen run for cover. Interior car housing estate, London, day. Richard jumps back in the car.
Put your foot down.
You're a nutter, Draper.
Richard laughs loudly as the car speeds off. Exterior car, Limehouse Tunnel, day. The teenagers drive into the tunnel. Super, 21 years later. Exterior car, Limehouse Tunnel, London, day. A black BMW exits the tunnel, driven by Philip Rowe, 39, wearing a suit. Richard Draper, 37, wears a jacket and jeans. Interior car, Limehouse Tunnel, London, day. Richard opens the glove compartment, takes out a gun, putting it into his holster under his jacket. Exterior car, Limehouse Tunnel, London, day. BMW speeds away from the tunnel and into the distance. Exterior apartment building, Canary Wharf, day. Richard and Philip arrive at a plush building. They park, get out and walk to the entrance. Jed Dawson, 34, steps out from behind a black Mercedes and walks towards them. He is holding an envelope. Well, well, if it isn't Ferguson's blue-eyed boys.
What are you doing here?
The boss wants to see you.
I mean here, this place.
You said to keep away from your houses, not this little penthouse hideaway.
This is off limits too. Is that clear?
You don't tell me what to do. Richard grabs Jed by the throat, holds him against the wall.
You're really beginning to piss me off. You know that.
Philip interjects, pulling Richard off Jed.
Leave it.
You egg case. Touch me again and I'll have you. A short, balding, dressed to a pinstriped suit appears. Mark Ferguson, 58, is the head of the firm.
Go wait in the car.
Ferguson holds his hand out to Jed, who passes the envelope to him.
Jed gets a little excitable now and then. He's a moron. Tell him to keep away from me. If I ever need near my wife again, I'll kill him.
What do you want? We told you we're out. We don't work for you anymore. It's over.
One last job. That's what I said. And this is it. That's the offer. It's not up for discussion.
Ferguson passes the envelope to Philip.
Why can't Dawson do it?
He's not in your league, is he, boys? Call me when it's done.
Ferguson walks away.
Patronising twat.
You heard the man. One job, then he's history.
Let's call the girls and get some shut eye. I'm shattered. Where's it going down?
Philip opens the envelope. Exterior did something strange with another term there. Exterior office building, City of London, a few days later. A grey-haired man in his 50s wearing a suit exits a large building carrying a briefcase. Exterior car parking base, street, City of London, day. Richard and Philip watch the man cross the road and follow him. The man nears an alley. They pull out masks, put them on and bundle him into the alley. Exterior street, City of London, day. A courier sees a confrontation and makes a call on his mobile. Exterior alleyway, City of London, day. The mark falls to the ground, dropping the briefcase. He pulls out a gun, firing at Philip. The shot misses Philip, striking a young black man walking past walking past the alley. The man grabs a briefcase and runs off. Richard pulls out a gun.
Leave it. Call an ambulance. Now. Do it.
Richard puts his gun away, pulls off his mask and makes the call. Police cars with sirens sounding and armed officers descend on the scene. Philip attends to the young man. Richard finishes his call and helps tend to the injured man. Super, 5 years later, present day. Exterior prison day. The prison gates open. Richard walks out carrying a sports bag. The car pulls up in front of him. Jed Lawson is the driver. Mark Ferguson gets out of the car.
Good to see you, Richard. What's with the welcoming committee? Thought you might want to see a friendly face. Where's Mr. Howe then? They messed up the release papers. He'll be out later. Can I give you a lift? No, thanks. I'm a bit picky who I mix with. Now, if you don't mind, I want to go and see my family. Do you know the grief I got from your cock-up? And that DI has been breathing down my neck ever since. Bad luck, that black kid being her cousin. We kept our mouths shut. End of story, all right? She's going to be gunning for you two. No pun intended. So just make sure you keep out of her way. We can't tell what we don't know. I had to go all out to make up for the mess you two got me in. You owe me big time. I'll be in touch.
Ferguson walks towards the car. Interior Metropolitan Police Headquarters day. DS Toby War, a muscular, dark-haired man, 29, is seated. DI Elaine Ireland, a black woman with short hair, 41, walks in.
You're in early, Golf. Thought you were at a meeting. Of course. Your boys are out today.
They're not my boys. Coffee would be nice, thanks.
They tried to help Michael. Chance of something, eh? It was 5 years ago, Gov.
Coffee, black, now, not tomorrow. And if you want to discuss the heroics of Draper and Howe, don't do it in this office. Is that clear?
Toby nods awkwardly and walks out of the office. Exterior, Richard Draper's house, Surrey day. Richard walks through the open gates. A Range Rover appears from the side of the house. The driver is Richard's wife, Kim, 39. The car stops next to Richard. The window is wound down.
Where have you been?
Problem with the paperwork.
You could have phoned. See you later.
Where are you going?
Shopping. Jack's in his room.
Dinner with Phil and Sarah Saturday.
Kim drives off. Richard continues towards the house.
Welcome home. Good to see you too.
Exterior, Philip Howe's house, Southwest London day. A black taxi pulls up at a large detached house. Philip gets out of the car, pays the driver and walks towards the house. He carries a small suitcase. Interior, Philip's house lounge day. Sarah Howe, 42, is on her mobile.
I do, but it has to stop. Phil's out today. It's over. I mean it.
Sarah?
I have to go.
Sarah ends her call and turns to see Philip enter the room. Philip grabs her and they kiss.
Hello.
Why didn't you call?
I didn't want you coming to the nick.
Philip kisses Sarah on the lips and gives her a white rose.
It's so good to see you.
Interior Metropolitan Police Headquarters day. Toby War is sitting on a desk in a large open plan office. Next to him is DC Simon Mead, 27, a good-looking man with blonde hair.
Draper and Howe went from petty crime as teens to working their way up the chain. Bank robbery, money laundering, loan sharks, protection. They stayed clear of drugs. Draper's son had a drug problem once, so he was zero tolerance to it.
So what's the big attraction?
They have an air about them. Howe is more level-headed. Draper has a temper. Used his fist first. They're big league, though, at the top of the ladder, so to speak.
An island wants to kick the ladder out from under them.
She's on a mission.
Interior Docklands apartment night. Richard, Kim, Philip and Sarah are seated at a large table. The windows which lead to a balcony are open.
Best meal I've had in years.
Cheeky bugger.
Richard holds open an empty wine bottle, gets up from a table and goes to the kitchen.
Looks like the sofa for me.
Richard returns with the empty bottle in his hand.
I thought you got 4 bottles.
I only got 3 as I'm not drinking. I've probably had enough anyway.
That's not the point. When I ask someone to get 4 bottles, I expect to get 4.
Doesn't matter.
Fine, I'll go and get another one.
Kim gets up, grabs car keys from the coffee table. She leaves the apartment, slamming the front door behind her.
You're out of order. She's not your wife. She's not some skivvy. She's
Sarah
your wife.
Sarah gets up from the table, grabs her coat and follows Kim.
What the hell was all that about?
Interior Docklands apartment night. Richard takes a drink from his glass. Philip gives him a look of disdain. Philip pours himself another drink and shakes his head at Richard. Suddenly a huge explosion is heard from outside and the men react by running to the balcony. Exterior forecourt parking area night. Richard's Range Rover is destroyed and engulfed in flames. Smoke billows up into the night sky. Panic, mayhem, confusion ensue as the residents rush to the scene. There we are. Thank you. I'm going to start off because that's your start. The explosion, not the rest of it. Start with the explosion and then roll back. Also, the other thing that you have to consider is you've got 3 sets of actors there, but 3 sets of ages. You might get away with the end to the 2 on the end being 1, you know, if you age them correctly, but you've got teenagers as well. So that's expensive right from the start. If this is TV, you don't want to be doubling up your money on people. Aside from that, there's just some niggly things about sounds should be in caps, that sort of stuff, you know, sounds should be in caps. I did at one point write down gun and put a big circle around it. And also it would be very unusual, I would say. I'm drawing now on my time as I was once a counsellor for victims' sport. And actually have had meetings with the gun crime people at Scotland Yard, and I've been to the gun crime convention, and it would be unusual for them not to be into drugs of some description, particularly as teenagers. I'm just going to leave it at that. Rachel.
I enjoyed reading it. I think we've seen stories like this before, but I don't know what happens on page 11. Maybe you've got something that's really going to shock me. I think definitely starting with the explosion and working back. I mean, just looking at the script, hang on. There's quite a lot of little action shots, which can be nice. And will make a nice trailer for you. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping there's something new in the next pages, but maybe you want to put it in the first 10 if you're getting someone to read through it to fund it or to put it on somewhere if this is a pilot. I liked the characters and their relationships. I thought they were good. I thought they were relatively realistic. To me, and this might just be me, it was a little confusing having so many characters in that first section, but I did enjoy it, and I hope you do very well with it.
Thank you. Oh, I will just add one thing. You can't just get away with just giving somebody's age. You have to give a little bit of a description of them as well, even if it's just a couple of words, so that we've got an image of them in our head, you know. John.
To repeat what's already been said, should have started with the explosion, because the first thing everybody's going to do is like, what the hell was that about? Which is going to draw them straight in.
Yeah.
Definitely reminded me of late 80s, early 90s London gangster movies, so absolutely loved it. All into them Cray movies and Charlie Richardson and all that lot. I worked with Richardson's grandson. Definitely enjoyed it. Really want to know what's going to happen. And as Rachel said, good luck with it.
Cool. Errin.
I'm really interested to understand more about how the past really correlates with it. First I kind of thought it was a mystery. There was some sort of mystery involved. So that like starting with the explosion, going through the flashback, and then kind of that sounds very interesting. Because it'll really like pull you in because I think the characters are really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of them, but I like them all. So I'm interested to see what else is going to happen. And everything everybody else said.
Yeah, I think it just needs some thought about the timeline and how you exploit that timeline. I'm as this is a big assumption and I may be wrong, but I get the feeling that the way it's written is so that we understand where they're coming from, that these are the younger people and they've progressed to this level of criminality from being, you know, teenagers who are just messing around but I think what will be quite nice is if you get that drip fed throughout so that you learn about those characters as the story evolves, because in this first 10 pages we don't understand what the story is really. We're just getting a lot of history of the characters. That's why if you started with the explosion and then moved slowly, incrementally forward, but drip feeding some of the history in as well, that would make it really interesting. But yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, thank you.